You'll see this when God knows you're ready to see it. Hey, what's up? It's Patrick, it's Rose via Fire, and I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about you'll see this when God knows you're ready to see it. So I know some people are gonna agree with this message, and I also know some people is gonna disagree with this message. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue with the message, bro. Like, bro, majority of these people who be talking about, oh, you'll see this when God knows you're ready to see it, bro. Bro, majority of these people, bro, they not even hearing from God, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm so sick of like people just using God and just putting it in the title. And a lot of these people are just doing it for views. A lot of these people is narcissists. You know what this actually reminds me of, bruh? This remind me of, like those posts to whereas the post is like this post if you love Jesus. Like if no, it's kind of like if you don't love Jesus, then skip this post or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Or like this post if you love Jesus. If you don't love Jesus, then skip this post. It's kind of like the same thing. You'll see this when God knows you're ready to see it. It's like, it's almost like a trend that everybody is just jumping on. You know what I'm saying? And I just wanted to expose this and just talk about this, bro. Because a lot of people discernment is very low. And what has the gospel came to, bro? What has the gospel came to? To whereas you could have a person, you could have like women, bro, especially women. They gonna be like, get ready with me. Like God told me to move to LA. I'm sipping on pina colada. And then as I was going to LA, I stopped by Starbucks and there's a bee that came into the car and the bee was taking the car to the east side and the west, bro. Like, get ready with me, and then after they do the get ready with me video, now they talking about get unready with me. Well, I thought you just did the get ready with me. Like, these people is glitching the matrix. I'm trying to tell you, bro, these people don't care about God. Talking about God told them to go to LA. Of all places, God is like, go to LA. Are you sure God told you that? Or are you sure social media told you that? Are you sure God told you that? Or are you sure media didn't tell you that? Social media, the influencers didn't tell you to go to LA. Because you're seeing the LA lifestyle and you're seeing this and that. So now you're trying to go to LA as well. And you're going to be like, get ready with me. God told me to go to LA. Oh my gosh. Bruh. What has the gospel amounted to? And then like, this goes for men too. Men, they're going to be like, you hear this when God is, you see this when God is ready for you to see it. And then they just throw God in there. And then they talk about the gym, they talk about money, they talk about all these things. What has the gospel came to, bro? You gotta have discernment, bro. What has the gospel came to for real, bro? To whereas people is just putting God in the title and using God for views, but they're not even speaking the real truth. People is like motivational speakers. You know what I'm saying? When the last time God called somebody to be a motivational speaker? God's will is about real truth, like serious truth that's going to save souls from hell. So when these people be talking about, oh, get ready with me, I'm going to the gym, I gotta run up some money and this and that, like, bruh, this stuff is not the gospel. And how you think God feels about this? People lying on God. People be like, this video did not come across your timeline by coincidence, as if they about to speak the realest truth of all time, just for them to speak some motivational stuff that people want to hear. The world has enough motivational speakers. You know how many motivational speakers is in the world? And then when it comes to God's kingdom, people in God's kingdom, they also want to be motivational speakers. So what's going to separate you from the world if the world has a lot of motivational speakers and now you trying to follow Jesus, you a motivational speaker too? You doing the same stuff the world doing? You ain't trying to speak the truth. You just trying to film the next get ready with me, sipping pina colada in Bali. You know what I'm saying? Sipping pina colada in Bali, talking about God told me to move to Bali. God told me to move to LA. Like, when the last time God told you to move to LA? Of all places, God tell you to move to the wickedest one. What power level do you got? Do you got Elijah type power level? Do you got Moses type power level? These people don't even hear from God. They just lying on God's name. And then they be acting as though they are so they are so like they acting as though God is speaking to them for real. A lot of these messages and a lot of these videos that you come across, when people say that God said or get ready, I mean, you'll see this when God knows you're ready. A lot of these people is lying on God's name because God ain't even speaking to these people. They doing this stuff for views, bro. These people don't care about the true will of God, which is saving souls from hell. You know, a lot of these influencers, they have like a large fan base, but they ain't even gonna tell their fan base about hell, bruh. They ain't even gonna tell their fan base about fully committing their life to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even gonna tell their fan base about the truth about Jesus, bro. They just gonna lie to them. They not gonna tell them about hell. Instead of telling their fan base about hell is real, follow Jesus, follow God's way and not your own way. Don't do your own thing with your life. Don't chase your own dreams. Chase God's dreams. Chase God's way. They're going to tell you to chase your own dreams. They're going to tell you to do your own thing with your life. They're going to tell you to go to the gym, idolize in the gym, run up your money. Like, really, like, it's kind of like they just using God to manipulate the gospel. And what has the gospel came to for real? You know what I'm saying? But I be seeing these videos going around, bruh. And people is really married to the art of BSing, bro. You gotta have strong discernment because we living in crazy times, bro. People is addicted to the art of BSing, lying on God's name. Oh, this video did not come across your timeline by coincidence. God knows you're ready. Why are you lying on God, bro? God ain't even speaking to you. God ain't even talking to you. Majority of these people, bro, God ain't talking to them. God ain't doing nothing like that, bro. These people is like, I'm trying to tell you, bro, these people, God is not speaking to them, nothing, bro. These people is straight lying on God's name, bro. This stuff, bro, people be like, nah, bro, like, you tripping, bro. Like, this is not that serious. It's not that serious. People being narcissistic towards God, they trying to use God for the next blessing. They trying to use God to get a car. They trying to use God to get a kingdom spouse or whatever they want to call it. And then after they get this stuff, if they get this stuff, they run from God because they don't care about God. They don't care about following God's truth. They just trying to use God for blessing, bro. This stuff is sick, bro. So you might be looking at it as like, oh, it's just innocent motivation. No, it's not innocent motivation. These people is watering down the gospel. You know what I'm saying? And let's see what else I got to talk about. Yeah, they just be putting the word God in the title, bro. God said this. God knows when you're ready. Like, it's just like religious narcissism, bro. These people is religious narcissists, especially Christian, bro. Religious narcissism, bro. Majority of them, bro, all they care about is using God for blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I call it religious narcissists, bro. That's all it is, bro. Cause they trying to run game on God, and God is not gonna let them, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. What else I got to say? Yeah, these people be following trends. How many videos you gonna see? You'll see this when God knows you're ready to see it. God says. You'll see this when God knows you're ready to see it. And who's the main people be doing this type of messages and videos? It be Christians. It be Christianity. This is why God tells us to leave Christianity. This is why God tells us to leave being a Christian. You know what I'm saying? And like I told y'all, man, some people gonna agree with this message. Some people not gonna agree. The people who disagree, bro, their discernment is not really on that level for real. They don't really understand what's going on. But the people who see what's going on and they picking up on the patterns and they seeing what's going on, the repetition, God said this, God said that, prosperity messages, it's all linked in and tied into Christianity and being a Christian. And all this watered down, get ready with me. God told me to sip pina colada in LA. Oh my gosh. Oh, man. Like, bro, these look like the same type of people to create a song called Pina Colada, bro. These people gonna be singing about pina coladas at the beach in Bali, talking about, oh, I'm doing God's will for my life. Oh my gosh, I'm so close to God, bro. You know what I'm saying? What has the gospel came down to? Man, these people gonna be like on the beach just talking about pina colada, pina colada. Bro, like I'm telling you, bro, if I made that song, that would go viral, bro. I'm trying to tell you. If I made that song, bro, if you make anything silly, bro, in this world, bro, That junk go viral immediately. Or you just need like a little beat and you're good, bruh. But let's keep on moving, bruh. These are just really like schemes, bro. Like these are just schemes, bro, that people running, bro. And people just, we living in a crazy times to whereas you gotta up your discernment, bro. These people is just scheming. They trying to run schemes on God. They trying to run schemes using religion and manipulation and motivation. They using motivation, manipulation, and just narcissism and just clipping it together. You know what I'm saying? They clipping stuff together. They like a chemist for real, bro. You gotta have strong discernment in these times, bro. Because when the Antichrist shows up on the scene, the Antichrist is gonna be using like the New Age religion, blending it with like Christianity, like motivation. He gonna be like a motivational speaker, bringing unity and all this stuff. Like manipulate, bro. Your discernment gotta be strong, bro. Do not be falling for stuff just because it sounds motivational. Cause what's the point of motivating a bunch of people who just trying to use God for blessings? You rather just tell them the hardcore truth. You rather tell them that, hey, if you're trying to use God, you're headed to hell. But guess what? They ain't even gonna support that type of message. You know what I'm saying? They gonna support the message where you tell them that they gonna win. How are you gonna tell these people they gonna win when they running from God, when they trying to use God for blessing, and then you telling them they gonna win, and then you consistently dropping the same type of message over and over and over, telling them they gonna win, bro? Come on, bro. This stuff don't even make sense, bro. We gotta get better at discerning, bro. But even God knows that a lot of these type of videos is fake. God knows he's not speaking to these people. God knows these people trying to use his name for views. Just put God's name in the title for views. That's what these preachers and pastors be doing. Just using God for views, spreading nothing but narcissistic religions, bro. You trying to use God for views, bro. That's all these people be doing for real. You know what I'm saying? That's all these people be doing. And then when a person like me or somebody else makes a video exposing one of these people and one of these preachers and mega preachers, people gonna be like, oh, you using the preacher for view. Yeah, but the preacher been using God for views since the beginning of time. But you ain't say nothing though. The preacher ain't speaking the truth, but you ain't say nothing though. But soon as I expose the preacher one time, I don't even be going back and forth. Just one time, people be like, oh my gosh, you're using the preacher for views. The preacher is a narcissist, bro. A lot of these Christians, narcissists, bro. Like, a lot of these Christianity, religion, narcissism, bro. So these are narcissists. They've been using God for views since the beginning of time. So we have every right to speak up and to take a stand for God and to expose what these people be doing, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you feel led to do it, you know what I'm saying? But we gotta also go higher, bro. We can't just be talking about the same topic every single day. We gotta go higher. We gotta come up with different topics. And a lot of people, they just settle for just talking about one thing forever, bro. That's not what God wants us to do. But yeah, man, that's basically everything I wanted to say, bro. Peace.